G'day viewers, Peter here, how they hanging? Different one today. We're going to do some construction stuff today. I'm not sure how long this one's going to take because I haven't got a lot of the equipment, but it's a carport for the wife's car, and I got up in the morning and a significant beam in the structure has failed because it was made of the wrong materials, and I didn't build the thing. The previous owners of the house did a lot of things that were, let's say, he did them in a way that I wouldn't have. Anyway, so we got a beam that spans 20 feet or 6 metres, whatever you want to say, and it's dropped about 5 inches or something, 150 mil. And it probably looks a hell of a lot worse than it really is. But anyway, I'll see what I can show you. So if we look at it from this angle, if you can see the front of the carport, I've taken, actually, if you look, see that's spouting, sorry, there's spouting here and downpipe. So I took that off yesterday because that was hiding a multitude of sins. And then if you look at the job today, see how it's sagging in the middle? I've probably jacked it up 1.5 inches or something, 40 mil, 50 mil. So you can imagine it looked pretty fucking horrible. Now, the wife's got a new car, that's hers there. This is my old car. The only reason that's there is it's got a V8 in it and a 5-speed manual. And I got plans for doing something with that, but it's easier for me to keep it all together. I could move it around. I've let the registration and insurance run out. But because I haven't started it for 12 months, the fuel pump seized and the fuel pump's in the tank. So I can't move it easily. So if something fell on it, I'm not that fussed about it. Now, if you look at this timber, I think this is made out of, what do you call it in your country? I think we call it LVL, and it's made up of stuff out of the bin. I don't like this timber. It's made out of short lengths and it's finger jointed together. So there's one of the joins there, and there's another join there. There's another join there. It's just shit as far as I'm concerned. Now, in his infinite wisdom, the previous owner, see that piece up there, which is perfectly fine, and that's Oregon. And actually that's Oregon too. So the joists are Oregon, and that one's Oregon. But if you look at it from this side, that one there, imagine it without the acro prop. That one is some sort of pieces swept up off the floor and glued together and sold to people, and he bought it. Anyway, I'll give you an example of stuff I've had to deal with the previous owner. This concrete pad never used to be here. I put this in. I put in my driveway, and we poured this in one day, and it was 477 metres of concrete. So that was a fairly decent pour. The guys worked hard that day. But before I put this in, look at the soil level. See these stumps here? Can you see how I dropped the level of the soil down probably 8 inches or something? See there in the water tank? So see that underneath that brick there, that's the original height. And then all of this, you can see by the timber there, all of this, I put this drain in. And if you look at, see where that water pipe goes along the house there, the ground used to come up to, you can see, there used to be a concrete path. You see that timber work? Look at this timber here. That's where the concrete used to come up to. And if you look along here, I broke this up with a jackhammer. That was a pretty serious day's work too. I was a bit younger then. So The reason I had to take this path out was because if you look at the height that it used to be at, this used to be the high side, and he put 4 on the concrete path, so that it fell towards this height here. You can see where the height used to be, and he's tried to put some sealant. You see some sealant along here to stop the water getting into the house. But if you look, you can't really see inside the room there. See where those guitars are? The height of the path was higher than the floor inside the house. And the water flowed. This was the high side and this was the low side. So the water flowed towards the house, and then the path was higher than the floor of the house. So how's that for sensibilities? So I dug this path out, and now, although it's a gravel path now and not concrete, it is now, the path is lower than the floor is in the house, and the water I've made run this way down. I made sure this was all downhill. As I said, I dug this out. It was a lot of work. It doesn't look like it. You can sort of get an idea how much I've dug out when you see that. So I've dropped this down, as you can see, and I've put that drain in, and then I've dropped it all down, and then I made this, where the concrete is now, a level, and I put this drain in here, and then there's a 6-inch that goes off down the hill. So this is the sort of thing I've had to deal with. Oh, and when I did the concrete then, you can see where the old level, I've dropped that, what's that, 2.5 feet. So the concrete pad is much lower than the gravel pad used to be. Anyway, so that's the previous owner, and look, I could go on and on and on. I find it upsetting because I've got to fix all this stuff. So now I've got this drama. I don't really want the Weiss new car in here with a timber like this, and I bought myself 4 acro props. So these, in Australia we call them acro props, which is a brand name. I think you can probably see down there, it says acro. One of those things that the name has become synonymous. So I'm just putting this one in to support it, because we're going away for a week into New South Wales. But then have a look at this. Oh, I'm not sure what you can see. See the how much, see where that rebate is, a checkout in the post, and that's dropped more than an inch or something, 30 mil. You can see there's another join in that shit material. Why they use it, it's caused me so much problems. So I'm thinking I might, with a grinder, cut that tin bracket. I'll cut all these tin brackets off. At the moment I'm thinking I'll replace it, probably not with Oregon, with treated pine of a similar dimension, and then I'll probably put a bit of 6-inch by, this is kind of 10-inch by, what is it? No, it's 12-inch by 2-inch, let's call it. And I'm going to put some 6x2 under it to support these rafters or joists instead of the tin brackets. I don't know what they're called, I don't like them. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. But how am I going to do it while I hold everything up? So, never say in Aussie morons block of land that there's not shit going on. Yes, I woke up in the morning and the garage was collapsed on the wife's car, so she wasn't too happy. So we got the car out safe now, and now I've got to try and fix it whilst supporting it. So if anyone's got a skyhook they can lend me, I need a skyhook at the moment. So if you want to tell me where one is, otherwise we've got to fix it. But I'm going on holidays next week with the family, so we're off to Marimbula on the coast. So it'll be nice, relaxing, and then I'll have to work out something when I get back. And we're off to another holiday in Greece for 6 weeks. So I'm not sure when this is going to get done, but I'll work it out. So I'll say uru.